Start date today.
Welcome to Urban Starfleet Explorers. I am your host, Ed, and today
I have traveled and discovered a fully restored arcade. And inside, I have found a movie starring an engineer named Gary. He shows us how to fix and maintain your Star Trek pinball machine. And we are sharing this knowledge and footage with you. Here we go.
All right, everybody. We're going to be doing a little shop out work on our Star Trek machine we just got. We're going to replace all the rubbers, clean up the playfield and stuff, so enjoy. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this right ramp assembly because I want to get at all the stuff underneath of it. So it's going to be a variety of screws just to do this. Grab myself a magnet. Magnet on a stick. It's your friend. It's always handy to have a magnet on a stick when you're working on a machine. Because if you get washers that fall in, it's a great way to catch them. Alright, what's holding it right here? Okay, a small screwdriver. Yeah, these take the smaller head Phillips. Take that off. All right, so this back panel here is kind of holding me in. See if I can get that screw out so I can rotate that out of the way. Ooh, there's a spacer in there. That's gonna be fun. Let me get a needle nose so I can grab that spacer behind there. And spacer. Okay, there's the big one. All right, first piece of plastic out. All right, what I'm seeing is I've got a wire fed down right there. All right, that should let me get my hand in there and in here. All right, now I can do the rubber stuff. Okay, if I take this protector off, I can get to, I can pop those off, and then I should be able to pull the whole thing out. Get a wrench. That screw and spacer. All right, let's see if I can get the winch in there. Now that's a pain in the butt. Two of the opticals. Let's take off this other two and that whole ramp will lift right out. All right. And this should pop this flasher off. That should do it. And the ramp is out. Okay. Now I can get at all of these things because I got rubbers in here, rubber here, rubber here, and I'm just going to shop it out. I'm going to use all clear stuff. And there's the connector for that. All right, now I need a 1/4 inch nut driver in the back. Okay, and that is actually now free. So I should be able to remove Vengeance here. All right, let's see. You're free, magnet's free. Pull the cable out. Now, where are my mounts for this? I don't know if I need to take this off right now to be nice. That goes all the way back in there. And out that comes. All right, so this plastic's out. All right, so this has got a squirrely rubber. So these have got the post here. Let me yank these rubbers out. All right, these are the post rubbers. This one's been replaced with something different, like a tournament bumper. It's like super hard. So I'm going to be removing that. I'm putting regular silicone rubber on there. And I think the easiest way for me is just going to be exactly knifing it off of there. There we go. Yeah, it's this really hard rubber. So I am going to not use that. I'm going to put some sleeves on there. All right, let me go through my stock of stuff. I have a whole bunch of rubber. 2 boxes of this stuff that I bought. I'm going to find the right size. Those are a little bit on the small side. Okay, so it looks like I am going to be putting on some clear post rubber here. Yeah, because all of these have been changed out to this urethane stuff. Here's a size in between. Let's see. Whoop. That's not what I want. All right, so we're going to put the smaller ones on and call it good. All right, let's try half on this back one here. Half it is. There we go. All right, that one's good. All right, let's move on to the posts. The rubber's back in here. I'll do all of these in this region, clean it, then put everything back in, and then I'll move on to the other side. All right, these are the lane guides I'm working on. All right, this one has an interesting one. It goes to another little post. Must have been a catch point they found. So I am going to change out the rubbers and I'll put that back in. All right, so needs a 5, I think it's a 5/16. Yeah, 5/16 on one side and a 7/16 on the other. So this one's fun because I have to get this, stretch it onto another little post hiding under here. All right, I'm gonna do the stretch. And there we go. Rubber, rubber. And it'll be this one right here. And that, my friends, that one is a 3/4. 3/4 right in there. It's a nice clear rubber. And then put the front 2 screws back in and I'll be done with that area. All right, that area done. So that, those and those, so I can move on to that and the rest of these. Okay, I have successfully stripped down most of the playfield here on our Star Trek machine. I have actually changed out all of the rubbers. Almost all of them are now a clear silicon. That way some of the light gets out onto the play field. So we've also done the Pinball Life Durabands on our flippers for this round. So now comes the fun part of I gotta do a bunch of wax work, clean it, and then reassemble all of the ramps. That's quite a chore. Here we go. I'm going to be doing some waxing here, and what I typically use is Jet Seal Sealant and Paint Protection. I find it's a good wax, and it does clean off the black rubber gunk pretty good. So here we go. Time to have some fun. All right, got the wax on, let it dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to polish it off. Once it's all done and polished, then I can reassemble all the ramps. So this has got a lot of pieces to ramps. There are 3 different ramps you have to remove, and lots of auxiliary little things like, you know, the optical sensors and stuff like that to get it out without dismantling part of the bottom of the playfield. So it's gonna be worth it in the end. It'll play really beautifully. All right, that looks good and waxed, nice and smooth. All right, next up on the cleaning on the playfield portion of it, I'm going to use some just isopropyl alcohol, IPA here, and I'm going to wipe off the flippers, targets, and things that I may have touched with wax that I don't want wax on it, or, you know, ball schmutz as well. So just kind of clean those off from me handling them, touching them, and that way there isn't any stray wax anywhere. So yeah, so this has got all new rubber throughout this game. So everywhere there's a piece of rubber, it's got something new. Almost all of them are clear, like I said earlier. A couple of these I ran out of my clears, so I got a couple of black bumpers on those. But yeah, it's gonna play fantastic. The other thing I'm going to do while I am at this point is I'm going to take a little bit of this. This is Super Lube. I'm going to lube that spinner a little bit. That way it works fantastic. So I'm going to just apply it right on the shaft so it gets in the hole. And then, yeah, this is not an optical spinner, so it has a little bit of resistance, not quite as good as those, but yeah, they also do that to yours. And that is it for the cleaning portion of it. Now I'm going to move on to actually cleaning the ramps because they are a little dirty, so I need to kind of disassemble them and clean them. All right, these are the 3 ramps out of the game. You can see some of them are pretty long and extensive, but they're a little dirty. You know, I need to clean them, wax them, and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start to dismantle some of the pieces I left intact here, clean it, reassemble that part, and move on to the other 3. Okay, here's the right ramp. So first thing I'm going to do is just take this last piece off here. All right, now it's disassembled. All right. On the plastic, I'm going to use something different. I'm going to use a little bit of plastic polish. It's kind of designed for headlights of cars. It's meant to be used on plastic, so I find it really good for doing these kind of plastic ramps. So, pretty much. Yeah, the big thing with these plastic ramps, they might get a little soot on them from all the mechs in the game, but the biggest thing is the ball track, and that's where this plastic polish does a pretty good job of smoothing out the surface. It's designed to clear out headlights, so it works really well on this kind of stuff. So that way your plastic ramps will look nice and refreshed. Don't need to go too heavy with the stuff. So, and it helps to leave it on there a little while. Don't buff it off right away. Let it kind of dry out, and then that's the easiest way to buff this stuff off. Yeah, you'll probably see a lot of high wear on the ramp entrance. That's where the balls are coming in at a high velocity. so you'll probably see some clouding where the balls go, and this will help reduce that. Yeah, it's helped already. I'm going to do another application on this portion in particular just because of the higher wear. This is where it comes in a high velocity and feeds down to this flipper slower, so it sees less wear on this side of the track. It's going to see the most here and in the curve. All right, using a clean part of the rag, then I just buff it out. Once this stuff buffs off pretty good once it's dried out. I mean, don't worry, you're not going to be able to get out all of the ball tracks without spending thousands of hours trying to polish this thing out. When it's all lit up, it'll look good. You won't have any nice big horrible cloudy spots on there. So like right now, you know, this already looks a lot more transparent. There is actually some dirt on the backside. So once you've done the inside, don't forget to do the backside, because the back is going to have some dust on it, some other items like coils and solenoids always make a little bit of fine powder, basically, that just from the carbon scoring. So that'll find itself onto the backside of some of these items. So just do a light wipe with this stuff again, and you'll be good. And this one I don't want to put too much on, so I'm just going to put it on the rag and dust off the backside. And then when you're all done, you know, look for spots you've missed of the polish, you know, because it's easy to clean off when it's out, but once it's in the game, if you forgot some stuff on the bottom side, it's in there until you take it out ever again. Might do a little bit more right here. I see a ball track still in there. Now it's better. So yeah, you're going to want to do this if you have them out. It's a great time to clean up your ramps, makes them look a whole lot better. You know, maybe not 100% brand new, but pretty nice and shiny. So when this goes back in the game, it'll look really great. Now I'm going to move on off camera and do the other ramps and rejoin you during the assembly. All right, time to put the stuff back in. So first thing going back in will be the left ramp assembly, and that needs a few things assembled in place. Oops. So it's going to be going, you know, somewhere about right here. Get it under that, but I got to put some optos on and things like that. There's some variety of optos that got to go in place, which are going to be fun, and a flasher. So I'm going to grab all my hardware. All right, optos for over here, optos for back here. Okay, there's one set of optos. Ooh, get out of there. All right, let's get another set hooked up. Okay, get the correct set, the shorter looking set, because this other one is for the upper ramp. Okay, it's all tangled up with the flasher assembly. Okay, flasher gets a nut and bolt. All right, let's put some more opticals in. Optical screws. Okay, we're gonna do those. Need a 1/4-inch driver. Get out of my way. Gotta undo those.
Unfortunately, due to the data decay, the rest of the footage was lost. However, we were able to recover almost everything that Gary wanted to show us while he shopped out his Star Trek pinball machine. And I was stunned to see the finished results. It looked like it rolled off the showroom floor, rejuvenating this machine into the future. We want to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please comment, like this video, and subscribe to our channel. We also stream live pinball on Sunday and Wednesday evenings Eastern Time. Hope to see you then.